Over 500 million people worldwide are living with diabetes, and most of them have type 2 diabetes, largely due to what we eat. That's why some certain everyday foods may be doing more harm than you think, especially after age 55. Welcome to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. Today I'm going to reveal the 7 worst foods for diabetics, foods that seem innocent, even healthy, but may be silently damaging your health every day. Whether you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or have been managing it for years, these foods can send your blood sugar soaring, increase insulin resistance, cause inflammation in your organs, and increase your risk of blindness, kidney failure, and even amputation. You'll also learn simple swaps to help you eat smarter without feeling restricted. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you care about diabetes, especially in seniors. And stay with me through the end. What you'll learn today could truly change the way you eat and protect your future health. Something that's sitting in so many of our refrigerators. It sounds healthy, even comforting, but might be quietly working against your blood sugar goals. Food number 1, fruit juices, even 100%. I used to think a glass of orange juice in the morning was the healthiest way to start my day. It felt fresh, natural. How could it possibly be bad? But here's the truth. Even 100% fruit juice with no added sugar can cause sharp spikes in glucose levels, especially for people over 55 with type 2 diabetes. That's because when you juice a fruit, you remove nearly all the fiber, the part that slows down sugar absorption. What's left is a highly concentrated dose of fructose, which enters your bloodstream fast and can overload your system. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that people who drank 1 or more servings of fruit juice daily had a 21% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who rarely drank it. The American Diabetes Association recommends avoiding fruit juice entirely or at the very least, limiting it to 4 ounces and pairing it with high-fiber foods to slow absorption. I knew a man named Richard, a 72 years old, former teacher. He'd been drinking a tall glass of fresh squeezed orange juice every morning for years. His fasting blood sugar hovered above 160 mg/dl, until his doctor told him to stop. 2 months later, his levels dropped by over 30 points without any new medication. So the next time you reach for that healthy glass of juice in the morning, just remember, it might be more dangerous than soda. Drop a yes in the comments if you've ever made that mistake. And don't worry, I'll suggest better options later. Food number 2, flavored yogurt. You probably wouldn't expect this one because it doesn't look dangerous at all. In fact, it's often labeled as low-fat, probiotic, or even good for digestion, flavored yogurt. It sounds like a smart choice, especially if you're trying to snack or improve digestion. But most flavored yogurts are loaded with added sugars, fruit syrups, and modified starches that can wreak havoc on your blood sugar. According to Harvard Health, a 6-ounce cup of strawberry yogurt can contain up to 24 grams of sugar, which is the equivalent of 6 teaspoons. For people with type 2 diabetes, that's enough sugar to cause a significant spike in blood sugar, especially when eaten on its own. Many people eat this as a snack, thinking it's good for them, but in reality, it's closer to dessert than healthy food. The Mayo Clinic recommends that people with diabetes stick to plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt and add berries or cinnamon for flavor to keep sugar levels in check while still adding protein and probiotics. And if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear about the next healthy food that actually makes your diabetes worse. Most people choose low-fat options because they think they're better for their diabetes. But what if I told you that these healthier options can actually be loaded with hidden sugar and worse for your blood sugar? Let's find out why low-fat packaged foods could be your biggest hidden enemy. Food number 3, low-fat packaged foods. In a 2022 case report published by Harvard Health Publishing, a 62-year-old man with prediabetes made major changes to his diet. He swapped full-fat foods like whole milk for low-fat alternatives, thinking it would help lower his blood sugar. He even replaced his favorite avocado toast with fat-free cereal and skim milk. But after just 3 months, his blood sugar was higher than before, and he gained nearly 8 pounds, mostly around his waist. Why? Because when manufacturers remove fat, they usually add sugar, starch, or artificial thickeners to bring back the flavor. And those added sugars are blood sugar bombs, especially dangerous for older adults whose metabolism and insulin sensitivity are already declining. A review in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society confirmed that low-fat packaged foods often contain hidden sugars that raise post-meal glucose even more than full-fat options. The National Institute on Aging recommends seniors prioritize whole, minimally processed foods, even if they contain healthy fats over highly engineered diet products. What foods do you trust the low-fat label on without checking the sugar content? Your sharing could help someone in the room right now. Food number 4, sugary breakfast cereals. If your breakfast leaves you tired by mid-morning, it might not be your age, it could be the sugar hiding in your cereal bowl. Cereal seems like a safe, easy way to start the day. It's quick, it says, whole grain, on the box, and some even say, good for your heart. But take a closer look at the label and you'll often find 10 to 18 grams of added sugar in just one serving. A study from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that cereals marketed to older adults as healthy often contain as much sugar as cookies or soda, and their glycemic index is alarmingly high. According to a study in Diabetes Care, processed cereals, especially those labeled low-fat or whole grain, can cause post-meal glucose spikes that are dangerous for people over 55. And when your blood sugar spikes every morning, your insulin resistance worsens, fat builds up around your belly, and reversing diabetes becomes almost impossible. Be extra mindful about what you eat first thing in the day. It sets the tone for your blood sugar all day long. Food number 5, white bread and refined carbs. Imagine this: you just pulled out a fresh, fluffy white bread from the toaster, spread some butter, took that first perfect bite. Ah, pure happiness. Who doesn't love that soft, pillowy goodness that melts in your mouth? Feels like a little celebration every morning, right? Well, hold on, there's a twist coming. White bread and other refined carbs like white rice and pasta might taste comforting, but they turn into pure sugar the moment they hit your digestive system. Recent research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who eat diets high in refined grains have a 37% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who eat whole grains. The National Institute on Aging recommends replacing refined carbs with whole grain options like oatmeal, brown rice, and sprouted bread to help regulate blood sugar and maintain steady energy. Take Marvin, 69, for example. He used to have toast with jam every morning. After switching to sprouted grain bread with avocado, his glucose levels became more stable and he no longer needed a nap by 10 a.m. So, as delicious as that white bread feels, it could be quietly sabotaging your blood sugar control. Time to rethink that morning toast. What will you choose instead of white bread tomorrow to be better for your blood sugar? Let's discuss in the comments section below. Food number 6, processed meats, bacon, sausage, ham. Who doesn't love waking up to the smell of sizzling bacon or biting into a juicy sausage sandwich? That irresistible, savory flavor makes breakfast feel like a celebration. But before you reach for that second strip of bacon, here's something important to know. Many of us grew up thinking ham and cold cuts are convenient and still packed with protein. However, the truth is, these processed meats are loaded with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives. These additives not only raise blood pressure but also worsen insulin resistance. Experts report that in the journal Diabetes found that people who regularly eat processed meats have a 19% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, even when adjusting for weight and lifestyle factors. The American Heart Association warns that the high levels of sodium and additives in processed meats can lead to chronic inflammation. This inflammation plays a direct role in the progression of both diabetes and heart disease. I also read about a 71-year-old man in the Journal of Nutrition and Health who ate 2 slices of bacon every morning. After cutting back on processed meats for 8 weeks, not only did his fasting blood sugar drop by 20 points, but his blood pressure also improved. And now we come to a crunchy, golden comfort food that might be the most harmful of all. Food number 7, fried foods and trans fats. Golden, crispy, irresistible. Fried foods are everywhere, but they may be the most dangerous food group for people with diabetes. From French fries and fried chicken to onion rings and donuts, these comfort foods are often cooked in hydrogenated oils that contain trans fats. Even small amounts of trans fats have been linked to increased insulin resistance, arterial damage, and significantly higher risk of type 2 diabetes. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people who regularly consume trans fats had a 73% higher risk of developing diabetes compared to those who avoided them. The American Diabetes Association warns that trans fats not only raise bad cholesterol, LDL, but also impair insulin function, making blood sugar harder to control. Instead of memorizing every food to avoid, think about this: what if your daily meals became your medicine? For those of us over 55, especially living with or managing type 2 diabetes, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And small, intentional changes can create a huge difference over time. Here are a few simple tips that work. Build your plate around real food, colorful vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains. Eat slowly and mindfully. This helps your body manage blood sugar more efficiently. Stay consistent with meal timing, to avoid large spikes and dips in energy. Read labels like your health depends on it, because it does. Swap, don't sacrifice. Switch white bread for sprouted grain, sugary snacks for nuts or berries, fried food for grilled or air-fried options. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Aging with diabetes is a journey, and every smart choice is a step toward strength, clarity, and confidence. Which one of these tips feels easiest for you to try this week? Or what's helped you most on your journey? Let's encourage each other in the comments. If this video brought value to your life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. I truly hope you stay healthy and strong. I'm here to help you every step of the way.